Hey guys, it's Josiah here, back again with another video. Now in this video, I wanted to cover the main 3 systems that I use to scale my own agency to multi-six figures in under 90 days. So you can use the exact same system into your agency and then scale, book clients, and actually deliver the amazing results to your clients, which if not, is one of the most important things that keeps them sticking on again and again and again. Right now, who am I? My name is Jozy. I've helped over 150 marketing agencies scale, implement the client acquisition systems. And if you want to learn more about what we do, there's a link below. One of our clients actually recently in the mail just spoke to me, took him from 8K per month all the way to 200K per month in just under a year using these systems, right? So 100% employee. If you don't have these systems in your agency, add them, implore them, expand them as soon as possible, right? So first things first, the first system is the appointment booking system. Now, you need appointments in your business to scale. Absolutely. Like appointments is literally the lifeblood of your agency at the moment. Now, when it comes to appointments, I really just base down appointments, especially organically. So I'm mentioning things like, let's say email, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, even some cold calling as well. What you want to do is focus on these 3 things when it comes to appointment setting, right? The first thing is the platform, then the targeting, then the offer/messaging. Now, with the platform, you want to make sure that you're choosing a platform that calls to you. So, for example, if you're targeting B2B businesses, just like finance, consulting, any B2B service providers, right? The best platform we found targeting them is LinkedIn and email. Now, if you're targeting more of local businesses, more of an old business, the best places we found them are cold calling and cold emailing as well. So cold emailing works for essentially all of them, right? But cold calling we've seen work a bit more for, let's say, local businesses, and LinkedIn for specifically B2B businesses, right? And you want to make sure that you pick a platform that you can consistently stick to for the next 2 years. Now, this is so important because a lot of people, they pick a platform, let's say cold calling, and they hate cold calling. And they're like, Josiah, how can I grow my agency? I'm like, yeah, you can face the fact that you hate cold calling, go through the grind, or perhaps you can switch to cold emailing, automate that and have an automated system, right? And then never have to worry about picking up a phone call, right? And a cold call, because you don't need to do that to make money. There's so many people, like, to be honest, we don't cold call as much, right? And we're booking in appointments upon appointments, booking around 10 to 15 just via email and LinkedIn alone, right? So 100% employee, before you actually stick and actually commit to the platform, ask yourself, do I see myself using this platform for the next 2 years, right? And the answer is yes. Again, pick that platform. Now, once you've picked that platform, the next thing is actually finding out which niche is actively on that platform, okay? And the way we find this out is by, especially for like email, you can use Apollo, right? To really find out how many valid emails you can find in that niche. And if that number is more than 20,000, then again, that's going to be a very, very good spot. Now, this is assuming your niche is on email. So for example, if you talk to people like lawyers or like dentists, they have people, or they have, let's say, gatekeepers or assistants who's currently managing their email. So they're out on email, but they have a gatekeeper. It's going to be a lot harder for you to penetrate that niche and actually like go in and sign clients, rather than if you're targeting a niche that the main CEO is always using email. Okay, so you want to find out if there's more than 20,000 people, because we need that volume of people to actually scale and actually test, right? I see people targeting a group of, let's say, 5,000 people, and the reason why they can't scale, because there's not that many people in your niche for you to actually scale, right? You're gonna have to just target the big bills. You're gonna have to just charge way higher. It's gonna be more of a very, very targeted approach, right? So you have 20,000 people, and you want to make sure the 20,000 people that you have are making money. Now, for majority of the industries, having 10 plus employees means that they're making some money, right? For majority of the industry, because employees are expensive, right? It means that the business has to be profiting some amount of money, right? In terms of them actually having that 10 plus employees on payroll. So I definitely have that as a backbone when I go in terms of evaluating if this is the best niche to go to. Because you want to go to a niche that there's a lot of people and they have money, they have purchasing power, and then you can actually go and target them. Okay. Now, one rule of thumb when you're targeting people, right? Let's say you send 500 messages, and I call this kind of the dead rule, right? And to actually understand if the niche is on that platform or not. So we have basically a KPI that we track, a key performance indicator, that if we send up to 500 messages and we don't get a minimum of a 3% reply rate on email, also like a 3 to, let's say, 1% reply on email, assuming deliverability is good on email, right? That niche is not on email, right? Literally not on email, because usually you'll find even negative replies of people saying do not disturb, or like go away and just not interested, right? They tend to be a lot of them, right? Assuming deliverability is good, I'm just saying when you're doing this, right? Because you don't want to, what I've seen a lot of people do, and this would be one of the biggest mistakes I've seen, is that people start targeting a specific niche, let's say on LinkedIn, right? And LinkedIn, we look for like, let's say a 5% connection request and like a 5 to 10% reply rate overall. But people start using a platform like LinkedIn, and at first the niche seems like they're on there, right? or they feel like the niche is on there. And then after like 500 to 1,000 messages, they're not getting any replies at all. And this is like, I like to call it a sunken cost fallacy, which basically means that you're just basically investing into an investment that's not producing the results that you want. And that's why a lot of people don't make that pivotal movement, because they just keep throwing time, attention, outreach into this niche that doesn't give them a high reply rate, right? And the thing is about reply rate, it shows you like overall if that niche is active on the platform. Okay, so you can use this in terms of a north metric to say, hey, if I'm getting a 5% reply rate, these means that on the platform, and then I can then focus on making them replies positive, right? That's the main thing, because first, you can't get positive replies if you're not getting any replies, right? So you want to make sure you're getting replies first, and then look to make them more positive by increasing, let's say, or improving your offer, your messaging, making it more, adding more curiosity, adding a better offer, etc. Right? So many things, right? Then you want to use perplexity.ai to then find competitors in that niche. Because if you go to a niche where there's no competitors, like not a single agency that works in that one niche, then it's a red flag, right? And you may think, oh, I'm finding something that essentially is blue ocean, XYZ. Like, you don't want 0 agencies working in that, because there's a reason no one has worked in that, right? Bear in mind, there's millions of agencies across the whole world, right? And no one's decided to work in that one niche, okay? So what you want to do is go to perplexity.ai saying, hey, can you find me agencies in X niche, and then show me the website, okay? Because this is gonna allow you to find competition in that niche, and it's also gonna allow you to model off their agency. Like, let's say if they have a really good case study with this specific person in this niche, and they wrote a whole case study about the pain points, desire, the solution, every single thing is gonna be easier for you to just read that, gain that knowledge, and then use it in your own outreach, in your own, let's say, in your own case study, in your own market research, everything like that, because he's already done the work with that specific client, right? So that is essentially the targeting. So targeting, like I said, make sure there's 20,000 people in there. Make sure then people have 10 plus employees. Make sure as well that if you send 500 messages out to that niche, right, and you don't have a higher than, let's say, 3 to 5% reply rate, then look to see if that niche is actually active on that platform, okay? And then use perplexity.ai to do market research to find out, is there good competition in this niche? Because that competition has done so much work for you and has basically figured out an offer that essentially, if the half-signed client is working to an extent, so then you can use that as a north metric to actually come up with your own offer and your own messaging, right? And that's where we're going to get to the next part. The next part is offer, okay? So when it comes to offer, I'm going to just put this in a very simplified method, just to not more along the video. Now, if you want to know how to actually create an offer, $100 million offer by Jozy is a gold standard when it comes to really understanding it in more depth. So what we use right now is, especially when it comes to offer, first you want to identify the desired outcome, right? Now, the more specific, the better when it comes to the desired outcome. So let's say, hey, we're just going to help you increase your revenue, to, hey, we're going to help you, we're going to add an extra 15 high quality, let's say, woman patient or elderly woman patient to your clinic. Is going to be 2 different offers, right? So the more specific, the better it is. Now you can use, against perplexity.ai, very good AI tool, to actually find out specific desires of a specific niche. So then you can find out, what do they really want, right? Because that's the main thing. We're just giving people what they want. We're actually bringing value to their business, and bringing value, just helping them out with their goals. So if their goal is to get to 100 patients in the next year, we're going to help them get to 100 patients in the next year, right? Now, again, like I said, in the next year comes to the second point, which is time frame, right? Time frame will be 90 days, 3 months, 6 months. And the thing about time frame, you can do a longer time frame if you increase the desired outcome, right? So let's say you get them, let's say 200 patients, but it takes them 6 months. Like, you can still use that as a valid offer, right? And that offer could still work, right? Rather than saying we're going to get you like 10 patients in 10 days, okay? Which again, it's a very good offer, right? So just go in terms of the things that you are comfortable offering, right? Because for example, let's say it's very hard to get someone 10 pages in 10 days, right? You won't even have enough time to really test and we see what things are. So it may not be as believable, but let's say 50 patients in 6 months may be more believable, right? Because you have time and you can actually fulfill on that progress. Okay, then is the guarantee. Now, the guarantee that we've seen on the risk reversal, the best one is pay-per results, but it's not the most scalable one. I see a lot of people using the pay-per results. It's good to get your first few clients, but scaling a business on pay-per results is going to be so hard, because you're going to attract people that essentially don't have money, right? Or essentially have been burned so hard in the past that they're just coming in. It's like an ex, right? It's like, imagine having an ex that comes to your business or comes into your life, and it just brings so much baggage of their past relationships, right? Like, man, it's going to come so much with emotional damage and emotional baggage. Yes, we can help these clients, but going for pure pay per results is not going to help your agency grow, because you can't invest into, let's say, talent and everything like that predictably. So I would definitely go for more of a money back guarantee rather than just a let's say a pay per results, and you already get paid when the appointments are done, right? Then we're going to go into terms of mechanism. So what is mechanism? Mechanism, just how you deliver the results, whether that be just via using LinkedIn, whether that be using TikTok ads, right? Or let's say Instagram shop ads. But the main thing about here is just the more unique it is, the better it is. Like if you just say meta ads, everyone's doing it. But like go a bit deeper. Like what about your meta ads style strategy? Now, if you don't know this, then you can of course invest into other people's strategy and then just name it your own, right? But what about your strategy actually deliver results? Is it the way you do lead qualification? Is it a specific ad style that you use, right? Is it specific UGC content that you use that actually deliver results? And then use that in your messaging to actually, A, is going to attract very sophisticated buyers because they actually know what you're actually how you're going to help them. And it's going to help you stand out with this other people that just saying, hey, we're going to do this for you. And the clients are asking like, how are you going to achieve? How can you do it better than everyone else offering me the same thing, right? And that's where you can really stand out, okay? Now, once you have that, then you're going to put in a very simple formula. This is an offer formula. So we help niche get desired outcome in time frame with guarantee through mechanism, right? So we help TikTok, let's say we help sports goods, e-commerce, double their revenue in 6 months, or they don't pay through our TikTok ads multi-channel platform, right? I just made that at the top of my head, okay? Then once you have that, you are ready to go. So you have a platform, you have a targeting, you have someone that you want to target, right? You have an offer as well that you want to give to that person, right? Whether that be the CEO, marketing manager, whatever, right? And then you're ready to start booking appointments, right? That's all you need, okay? To start booking appointments, to start getting people through the door. Now you can go a bit further than that and just go deeper into some of the conversions. So when people raise their hands up, you can go in terms of handling objections in the DMs, send them a piece of information, persuasive. And we have so many videos going over that, but I just want to go over this on a high level, right? Just so I can put your attention and mind into the right things for you to focus on, right? So platform, targeting, and offer, okay? Now, once you have appointments coming through, the next thing is sales. Now, a lot of people in the agency game overlook sales, right? Now, they think that usually when people like sell the first 1 or 2 clients, they feel like, oh my God, I know how to sell, I know how to sell. But especially even with the bigger agencies, right? A lot of agencies grow based off referrals. And guys, closing someone in referrals, like if you don't close someone in referral, you have to be doing something really, really bad. You have to have something really, really going against you. Like perhaps you're being mean to them. You don't like the prospect. Like not closing a referral is very hard. Like it's actually very hard, right? So a lot of people feel like they can close a lot of people, but then when they come to cold prospects, people that don't know who you are to the extent of a referral, people that haven't seen all the case studies about you, that haven't read all the content about you. When it comes to closing them, it's a different ball game. And a lot of people understand, like a lot of people get into the sales game from going from referrals, and then when they get to the actual cold leads, they then freeze. They're like, oh my God, why is this so much harder, right? Because these people don't know you, right? They don't trust you yet, they don't know what you're doing. And then that comes into actually having a real process that gets someone from a complete stranger to a paying client. And that's one of the biggest things that people honestly like overlook when getting into the agency game, guys, because if you know how to sell, it's gonna make everything a lot easier. A lot easier. So when it comes to sales, I usually just go into these 3 main things. So the first thing is discovery call, right? How you actually conduct your whole discovery call. Then is the pitch, and then is the objection handling. Okay, so when it comes to discovering call, the main thing you want to do is set the frame, right? So make sure that you set the frame of the call. This is how the call is going to go. The first 24 minutes is about me asking you a question. Then I'm going to go through the offer, guarantee, everything. Is that something you're okay with? Fantastic. Then you want to go and understand why they're there, right? Literally just understand why they're on the call. Then they can give you, hey, this need, this need, this need. Then we go about in terms of understanding a bit of their business, in terms of who they are, what agency they run, etc. You want to keep this at a high level. You don't want to go too into the nitty-gritty unless they have something really unique, right? And really like a bit odd, so you have to kind of understand it a bit better, right? Then it's just all about understanding the pain points. So just go about, hey, how many appointments you booking, how many patients you get in per day, what's your conversion rate, and really just going in terms of the pain point and really like clarifying the whole pain and getting them to basically bring all the emotions onto the table, okay? Then we're gonna go in terms of desired outcome, like, okay, this way you are right now, how much money you're making, where do you wanna go to the next 6 to 12 months? Then they're gonna give you exactly where they wanna go. They're gonna give you the desired outcome, why that's a big motivation to them, what else they're gonna be impacting, why do they wanna do it, how long have this been a goal for them, why have they not done it before? Like a lot of things, like just getting them sold on their vacation. That's what people say, just set them on the vacation. Like what do they feel like solving this problem is gonna help them achieve? right? In their business, in their life, in their family lives, just going deep in them. And then another thing is actually asking them, like, why have you been able to do this yourself? Like, what's stopping you from actually doing this yourself? Getting them to to admit defeat to themselves. Okay, that's going to help them really get into the grips that, hey, I can't do this myself because I don't have the system, I don't have the time, I don't have the knowledge. Like, how can I actually do this? Okay, then we want to determine in terms of time frame when ideally they're looking to solve the problem, right? If that's been ASAP or let's say not a long time. And then also you can also add consequences. What happens if they don't solve the problem in the next 3, 4, 5 years, right? What's the consequences of that, right? Are they going to be scrambling for bread? Are they going to go back to 9 to 5? Things like that, okay? Then at the end of the discovery call, you want to let them know that if you can clearly help them or you can clearly not help them, right? And this is important because if you can actually clearly help them, then you're going to go so hard on the pitch. You're going to put so much emotions on the call if you can actually help the guy, right? But if you can't help the guy, then just be ethical. Just say, hey, I don't think it's a big fit for you. Then reach out to us when you do have X, Y, and Z in place. Okay. Then after that, you're gonna go in terms of the pitch. Now, the pitch, a lot of people have a very complex pitch. I don't know why that was the thing, but we want to put our pitch into 3 simple pillars. So pillar 1 is going to be basically the foundation. So let's say you're marketing, you're gonna have to understand they're gonna create your account, they're gonna build you an offer, ICP, everything like that. Then it's going to be the main core service, whether that be running ads, lead generation, anything like that. But you're going to explain on a high level about the service and how it's going to benefit them, right? So you want to talk about all of the benefits, meaning that we're going to implement this so you can benefit, right? That's a very good way to articulate benefit. So you can, let's say, we're going to implement a lead generation system so you can book 2 to 5 calls each and every single day. We're going to implement TikTok ads so you can stand out versus your competitors and start booking appointments every single day of the month, anything like that. I don't know what I'm just saying. I'm just kind of in the mood of doing this, right? So that's what you want to go into. Then the third pillar is usually scaling or support. So for example, let's say you run TikTok ads for them, you found something that's winning, now you're going to increase the ad budget, right? Or you're going to give them extra support. For example, they have coaching, they have workshop calls, they have Slack communication with you every single day, 24/7, they have weekly calls with you, reporting, everything like that. And then after that, you want to go to something called a post-pitch process, where you just ask them, do you honestly feel like this could help you? And just get the prospect to sell themselves on the process alone. We're not going to talk about money, anything like that. Then at the end of that, you want to just say, hey, just say on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say 10 being you bloody love this, say 1 saying Josiah, get this out of my bloody face. How much do you feel like this process can actually help you get to XYZ goal, right? As soon as I give you the answer, let's say it'd be something between an 8, let's say it's like below, let's say it's a 10, say why is it a 10 rather than 2? Let's say if it's 8, like what's holding you back from being like an 8.5 or 9, then going to give you what I like to call kind of zombies, like little obstacles, right? These are before you actually do the price drop, and this are everything they hate or they don't feel like the product will do. Now here you're going to get a few things. You're going to get a time objection if you over explain the product. You're also going to get a product objection, which we're going to get into in a minute, right? Maybe they don't feel like your product will work. They feel like it's a bit scammy or it's a bit spammy in terms of everything you're doing, or perhaps they hate the platform that you hate. They hate how you target. They don't feel like you're doing good lead generation systems or good lead quality assurance, things like that. And it's going to help you to really, really root out the key objections about the product and about some other time, and then really handle it there and then to drive the prospect from an 8 to like an 8.5 or 9. Some prospects are never going to be a 10 as much as you try, so get them as high as possible. And then after that, you can start price dropping or guarantee dropping and drop your price. And then once you've dropped your price, then you've entered to the last stage, which is objection handling, right? So now in the objection handling process, there's just a few objections. We're not going to go too deep into it, but there's just a few objections that you really want to understand, right? So first thing is the time to think about objection. Now this is usually a smoke screen. Like if someone says they need time to think about it, it's just because there's something deeper in them, or it's usually this how they've made decisions in the past because they've been burned. Maybe this is the first time doing it. It's something deeper than that. So don't take this at face value because no one really needs time to think about it, right? Then it's a product objection. Perhaps they still don't feel like your platform works or the way you do messaging works or something about how you do it. Just don't align with them, like honestly, right? Then it's a value objection. This is usually they think they can do it themselves, right? They think, oh, I don't need to pay for this. I can just do it myself. Or perhaps they feel like they can spend the money elsewhere. So perhaps if they say, hey, I can spend money with you, or I can go spend money with, let's say, this guy, or I can go do this, run ads by myself, or do something else instead of spending it with you, okay? Then it's a money objection. This means that they literally don't have the money or they don't have all of it right now, which of course you can then do payment plans and then sort them out with that. Then it's usually a pound objection, meaning that it's usually a need or want, meaning that they need to go speak to their 50-50 business partner to really get the logistics out, or perhaps they want to go speaking to, let's say, their wife, but he ultimately makes a decision, right? So he's trying to like basically give away the responsibility, give away the power to someone else, okay? Then is the time objection. People saying we don't have time, rather take calls or to do the X, Y, Z. And this one is usually like, if trust me, if you want something, you will find time for it, right? Like honestly. And the last thing, which is usually the dreadest most objection, is the fear objection, right? This is for someone that's been burned in the past or has never done what you're actually like selling at the moment. So let's say you're selling a course, or let's say you're selling a program and he's never done it. He's going to be very fearful of what if it goes wrong, right? And then of course, there's so many ways we can go through it. It requires a whole video itself. We're not going to go through. We're just going to go through on a high level. So now, once you've got the sale and you've handled all these objections, right, that we gave you, the next thing is actually delivering the process, delivering the product, right, or delivering the service. Now, delivering comes into a few cases, right? Now, we're going to go through 4 main stages. The first stage is onboarding. This way you establish a clear communication between you and your client, okay? Now, the clear communication is going to be, let's say Slack, let's say email, where you're going to communicate with the client, okay? Then you're going to actually get the client to sign the contract as well. So you're going to go, he's going to sign the contract. He's also going to, of course, you've collected payment usually on the sales call. So at this point, you've collected payment. But if you haven't, you'll collect payment at this time. And then you're going to set up a onboarding call, or even before the onboarding call, you're going to send them an onboarding form. Now, this onboarding form, people overcomplicate it. Just ask yourself, what do you need from the client in order for you to make a campaign? You need the targeting, you need what they don't want you to say in the marketing. We also need a do not contact list, right? We also need their offer, their case studies, every single piece of material you need from the client, get it all on an onboarding form. And as you get more clients, you're going to be refining the onboarding form. So then the next client can basically have a smoother, you can ask less question in there, or you can ask more questions depending on how the first client went. Okay, then once you have that, then you're going to go through the proof of concept stage. And this is for every single campaign, right? This way you set up the ads manager, or you set up their LinkedIn accounts or the email accounts. Then you're going to draft up the initial strategy and testing, and then you're going to send it to the client for approval, right? Now, before you do this, I'm going to give you a big bonus, right? When it comes to strategy and testing, you want to think 3 to 5 steps ahead, right? So you want to say, hey, this is the first test we're going to do, but also this is the 3rd and 4th and 5th test if this doesn't work out. And if this does work out, we're going to do this, this, and this test to show the client that you're thinking way more ahead than a lot of people, right? And people are going to really value that. If you just think few more steps ahead, right? It's going to help the client feel more at ease, because this guy is already thinking about 3 months down the line, right? We haven't even got to month 1, right? And that's going to give the client so much ease when it comes to, hey, like, I actually believe that this guy can actually help me, right? And I believe that I'm making the right decision, okay? Then you're going to send it to the client, and you want to make sure the client approves it. Now, this is a big mistake that I see a lot of people do. The client doesn't approve your messaging, and because the client, bear in mind, some clients have never really tried like what you're trying to do for them before, and they think that they're right, but because they've never actually done it, or they never actually spend the time to research about it, right? They're ultimately in the wrong, right? It's like someone who's never touched a car telling you how to drive, right? Someone doesn't even know what a car is telling you how to drive, right? It's so wrong. So when a client gives you their suggestions and everything like that, take it with a pinch of salt, reassure them, but also don't deviate too much away from what you know works. Because at the end of the day, if the client already knew what works, he would do it himself. Okay, that's the end of the day, right? Then you're going to go through a testing and feedback phase when you launch the campaign. So you're going to be going and conducting all these tests until you find something that works. And then once you find something that works, you're then going to start increasing the volume, increasing the ad spend, increasing let's say the accounts for that account, right? And then also what you can do is start adding friction to get higher quality leads. So asking more questions, targeting higher budget companies, right? To actually start getting higher quality leads come through. And then while this is going on and you have a campaign that's going, you can just leave the campaign going. But if you're trying to like really nail it down for the client, I will start opening up new campaigns, suggesting the clients, we can go to this, we can do this, we can do that, we can do this, right? Where you bring in value, you're actually bringing ideas to the table to the client. So the client knows, hey, you're actually working hard. You're actually looking to help them scale to the next level. And this is how you get clients to stay with you for so long, right? Because they can see the value that you bring into their business, okay? Then once you start getting the results, the last part is case study and referral collection. So we're gonna ask the client, hey, I would love to do a case study with you because we just helped you get X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. And you usually do this after a big win, right? You ask for a case study video, and this would just be a 20 to 30-minute video. The client is basically just going to talk about the experience with you, if they recommend you for everyone else. And then at the end of that case study, you can also ask for a referral, right? Do you know anyone else who's struggling with the same thing? So you can start building your referral network, right? And these are essentially the big 3 systems, right? So like I said, the first system is make sure your appointments coming in, the appointment setting system. The second system is a sales system. Make sure you're closing these deals and closing them consistently. And the last thing is the delivery system, making sure that you're delivering your results. Now, if you just focus on these three systems, getting appointments, selling them, and delivering, there's no way in hell that you're not going to get to that 6 figures, right? And actually add multi 6 figures to your revenue. So that's the main system that I've used, and I've scaled my agency way past multi 6 figures at the moment. Like, we signed over 150 clients just in a short time span and using this, and I know exactly how it feels nailing all of these parts down. Because when you nail sales down, you're gonna just be printing cash. You're gonna feel like, well, money just coming out of thin air, right? And delivery, you're gonna feel so, like, the most satisfying part is when you deliver great results for someone, right? That's the most satisfying part. Like, booking appointments okay, selling is okay, but delivering, like, that euphoria feeling just cannot be topped. Okay, so if you need help implementing each and every single one of these systems, we literally have templates, courses, like videos, literally long 2-3 hour videos going through each and every single thing, giving you everything that works today in our program and everything like that, in our accelerator program. If you need any help implementing this, there's a link below for us to chat, everything like that. If not, like, subscribe, and share this video. YouTube is going to do a big job recommending other videos like this to you. And other than that, this is Josiah. Take care.